the channel. I appreciate y'all coming to check me out. And I definitely want to say like and subscribe. And I definitely want to say shout out to my little sister Malika. Rest in peace. She passed away about 3 days ago, and we're grateful for her time on this earth. Yo, I just want to holler at y'all about Tori Lanez. As you can see from the title, that he been through what you call a bad situation this morning. It seems like he's been stabbed in jail. You see a little pad. I had a car accident last week. I mean, about a month ago. Well, Tory Lane's been stabbed in jail, and underneath this situation, we don't really know the specs. You know, like all the specs about everything that happened to him or why it happened to him. But we do know it happened. So he messed around and got into a drama. They say he was on the yard, and somebody got at him. You know what I'm saying? But he's been already bragging, saying that he's definitely in the streets. He's definitely kicking it with the inmates. He's not like outside, being spooked or being in one of those little places where they keep the inmates if they don't want to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So he out there in the mix with the real people. So something can happen any day, every day. You know what I'm saying? But apparently he's in a critical condition. So when he got stabbed, the situation was so hard that they actually had to make him go to the hospital, which is really crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy probably didn't deserve all that, but you know what I'm saying? What can you say? He in one of those scenarios, but he in prison, so they ain't really nice to you when you locked up. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully he'll beat it or get out of it, or you know what I'm saying, succeed in the scenario. Because right now he basically locked up and no way out. You know what I'm saying? I remember that his scenario was like something like he was gonna be having to do a long time in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like he was doing 10 years for his crime or his scenario that he got caught up in, and then people was on his head about whatever he had did. They claiming he stabbed a girl. We don't exactly know if that's exactly what he did, but that's what they claim he did. That he stabbed a young lady. I mean, shot the young lady. I'm sorry, I keep saying stab. That he shot the young lady, and she got them people on him. You know what I'm saying? And he basically been going down ever since behind that scenario. He's a rich dude. And inside that scenario, in case you haven't heard, he was dating her, which is Megan Thee Stallion, and he was dating, I guess, one of her friends. And when it all came down the pipeline, it all turned bad on him. Like the girls got into a beef or something like that, and it turned on him. So he had to go sit down in a long ass time. Matter of fact, he been sitting down for a long ass time. So he had to do 10 years, which is an even longer damn time. So, I mean, imagine that being a multimillionaire and then you get caught up in some scenario with some girl, which she ultimately get you locked up and you sitting down behind it. Sure, it wasn't something expected to experience. Expected to experience. That's like a weird little combination. And I feel sorry for the young dude because he had made such an impact in music. He had made so much money. And now he couldn't even control these females he was with, which those females was rich too. I heard he was like dealing with one of the Kardashian chicks, and you just don't know like what's gonna happen to you in this life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody living their life trying to do the best they can. But his scenario led him to go sit down. So now inside jail, he done got into a shootout. I mean, a stabbing situation with some dudes. Don't seem like he was able to retaliate, and that's really the humdinger because he the one who got the shit sharp end of the blade, as they would call it. You know what I'm saying? So he's sitting down now, dealing with that. So it's kind of messed up because he probably got about 4 to 5 more years to go. And now you sitting down and being stabbed up and shit like that. It's like crazy. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that girl who don't like him, which is Megan Thee Stallion, she had them people come down on his head. You know what I'm saying? She really drove reckless when she got him locked up like that. And what can he say? He put himself in a scenario with her. He's supposed to love her or like her or something like that. And then he got into some scenario dating her buddy or something like that. It was like real crazy for him. You know what I'm saying? But that's what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And then inside that, the girl came to court, said he got shot her in the foot, and next thing you know, he pinched. No beating it. He can't beat the case. He can't get around it. So now he popped off and he's sitting in the bing. And it's been a few years without at least a lot of drama coming down from what happened to him as far as being locked up. But it looked like that's passing by. Now you in there for a bit, and you probably plug with some gang, or probably some dudes just probably don't like you. Plus he's putting out music all the time, and that's another thing gonna make your haters pretty much mad if you dropping music from jail. Like imagine that niggas been locked up forever. They can't drop no damn songs and shit like that. And here you is got a mixtape dropping, and people want to hear your shit. So it could bring hate. You know what I'm saying? It can make people not like you. You know what I'm saying? And you just trying to live your life, but technically you on. You on in jail. You got money. You got motherfuckers protecting you. And see, that's what throw me off. It's like how come his homies and people didn't protect him? It's like Tory Lanez is a superstar and got money. So what? You know, he got into it with some of his own people, and they got him set up. You know what really happened behind that? You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand what made him have to go get stabbed up by some dudes. It's like what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy to even imagine, but you know when you're running with a gang or you're in the scenarios, you really don't really know what the fuck could happen because it's jail. And then you know you could be cool with somebody one day and then mad at a motherfucker the next day, or vice versa. They be cool with you one day and then mad at you the next day. Or you probably couldn't get your money right, or you owe somebody something, or motherfuckers just feel like something you're doing disrespectful, or you got to ride with your gang. And when you ride with your gang, you end up getting stabbed. You know what I'm saying? You the one who got stabbed in that particular scenario. But before that, you wasn't getting stabbed. You probably was doing the stabbing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he a punk or nothing like that, but he is from Canada. So people make a move on you being from another country. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can he protect himself being like from another country? He didn't grow up in America. You know, most people who gonna be in some prison in America came from America. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's called America versus you. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know what I'm saying? U.S. versus you know what I'm saying? You versus the people, because you know basically most people grew up here. You know what I'm saying? But him, he from Canada, man, and I can't even imagine him growing, you know, riding out with the gangs and understand everything. You know what I'm saying? It's guys who grew up here in America and they don't understand all the scenarios that happen with the gangs and what to do with them. You know what I'm saying? You can get yourself hurt running with the gangs and shit like that. Don't mean he was doing that. See, that's what I'm saying. You know, this is all speculation, but again, being from America, you do know that it's gang shit here. And if you in a gang, or if you running around a gang, or if you just locked up, period, you might have to gang join one in order to, you know, handle your business out here and be safe. Because people would try to fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? So you just don't know if that's what he did, you know what I'm saying, or if that's how he was living. But technically, he could have, you know what I'm saying? And then it just was a bogus ass scenario at the end when you get stabbed up. Or it could have been some money. You know, he dropping music and shit. Somebody could have felt like he dissed him. It's a billion scenarios about why that dude could have got stabbed up. And the last one, which is what a lot of people saying online, is that hell, he could have been got a hit from Megan Thee Stallion. He been in there long enough. I'm sure it's people that's connected to her, like her, that's American. That's like, yo, you give me the money, I'll do that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it works when you in the world. You know what I'm saying? You know, he got basically with a beef with somebody who's rich. And now you locked up. Hell, you never know who she know that's in the bang. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really a fucked up scenario. I can't get this damn microphone to hang on my shirt. So y'all have to look at my little pain pad and all that shit. But anyway, it's been a crazy scenario for that guy, man. So I'm gonna move smoothly and groovily right over to my next scenario and next conversation, and it's gonna be about your boy, the D, the I, the D, the D, the Y, the D, the I, the D is Diddy. You know, when he had dropped that song, I would have never imagined him going to sit up in a prison. Shit, we was fans of this dude. We was like 20s, 30. You know, it was just never seen this shit coming. But when you hurt people, you know what I'm saying, you never know what could fucking happen behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people really look at him as persons that really did something to somebody, so they come into court and they trying to make sure he go down. And he dealing with his trial right now. You know, he actually and actively is dealing with his trial. So is that going to be something that can stop him from going down, or is he going to beat it? You know what I mean? The people are revealing the witnesses and shit now. That, you know, they all ready for testimony. They got the fucking jury together. You know what I'm saying? Like they ready. You know what I'm saying? And you know Diddy a billionaire, so he gonna probably have some kind of lawyer that could really handle his scenario for him. And they fighting to get the jury that they want. You know what I'm saying? Because you know white folks, they'll put a bunch of others on your fucking jury, and it'll just be like, what the fuck just happened? You know what I'm saying? How the hell am I gonna beat this? You know what I'm saying? With these people is as the jury on me. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully it's diverse enough. That's what somebody said, that it's massively diverse. It's New York. So maybe it's a bunch of people from different walks of life that have a different understanding. And we already know the scenario in this. It's not really hard to gather, especially when you're a certain age bracket. You understand that these are just people who either one of the two things. They either got mad at him over time for whatever reason, relationship reasons. It could just be money reasons, business, all kind of shit. And then there's other people who got around him, and they probably just pissed at him for maybe even participating in some sexual scenario, or just mad at him because they couldn't control what they wanted him to do. So, for instance, the girl Cassie, who's like his number one witness against him, it's already said that she was married to some guy, but she was living with her mother at the time of being married, and she had lived like that for years as she was being with Diddy. She had lived with her mother, and so she didn't actually get out her mother crib after her and Diddy broke up until she fucking got some money from the suit. And now all of a sudden she moved up out her mama crib, and her life was back on track. And it's been said by Diddy lawyer that since she wasn't with Diddy no more, she actually asked him for another job to be back around him, to work for his company. So it's like, wait, what? That sounds like the Michael Jackson scenario when those kids accused him of rape, or the R word. And then they came back around and then tried to find jobs at his corporation. And it was like, huh? Why would you try to find a job at his place when you just had him in a suit and in court suing him for some essay claim? But he lost the claim, or he didn't get found guilty. So this same scenario is happening with P. Diddy. He got people around him who don't like him. He got old girlfriends. He got, and they might feel guilty about some of the stuff they did later on. That's really what he's going through. So you was around a multimillionaire, and y'all was having fun, maybe flying jet, flying, wearing clothes, just kicking it. And so you was a little bit open to do more things, or more open to drink this, or more open to try that. And then all of a sudden, one blue afternoon, you stop hearing from this person. It could be from an argument. It could be from regular life. You just stop hearing from this person. They just disappear. And now all of a sudden your anger gonna kick up because you gotta go back to your normal reality, seeing your normal people who you probably thought you weren't gonna see again for a while. And all you can remember is how this person had you doing stuff that's making you sick to your stomach today, because you're not standing around them. You're not experiencing the rest of the shit that go along with it. You know what I'm saying? You can't travel to the island. You can't go drink this special alcohol or whatever y'all was doing. You can't buy those clothes or have a belt or whatever the fuck they was having. And so now you sitting back like, this motherfucker played me. You know what I'm saying? I can't even benefit from what they got going on. I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of doing this. But I got to keep my pad on, so you be like, damn, I'm tired, like, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I gave my all to this person just so that they could turn their back on me. And it's like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? But it's like that in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. People be cool with you for a minute, and then they be hot with you for the next. They don't be wanting to be rocking with you no more. And, and you got to be able to handle that. But a lot of people who you cross, they not going to walk away easy. You know what I'm saying? They not going to just dip and say it's okay. And in the scenario with P. Diddy, they in court, and they trying to make sure he got life in prison. Now, the white man offered him like 20 years. Like, they even offered him probably even less than that. But he gonna feel like he's not guilty because he got a fucking Superman lifestyle. And how dare these motherfuckers try to sue me? I gave you this. I had you eating like that. You travel here with me. I gave you that. Now how the fuck you tell me I did this against your will? There's no way he did none of that shit against their will. The whole problem is that he got to prove it in court just like they got to prove it in court. And they proof is no repercussions behind their proof. If they fucking get it wrong, then they go home and that's forgot about. If Diddy get the shit wrong, he's sitting in motherfucking jail for 20-something fucking years or more. They'll fuck around try to get him life, and it'll probably be 7 years just to get a motherfucking retrial, if the feds even allow you to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's really an uphill battle. And the real question is, y'all can let me know in the comment section, should Diddy get on the bench? Should he go and testify on his own behalf? If you was a multi-millionaire, would you testify on your own behalf that these motherfuckers are lying? Like, they ain't got no proof of none of the shit they saying. When the fuck did this happen? How does my walls look in my room? What afternoon was it? Do I have carpet on the floor? Is it cement? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? How can he prove that these people never was really around him? Or how can they prove that they absolutely was? And it's going to be an uphill battle for both of them to prove that. But P. Diddy got the money. So if anybody slip or anybody lie or if anybody don't tell the whole truth, his lawyer going to pounce on that shit. You know what I'm saying? And they might be a lot more raggedy with the situation than the defense because P. Diddy got a lot more to lose. You know what I'm saying? And those other people kind of don't even give a shit. You know, if P. Diddy go down, if he stay free, like who the fuck cares? But we gonna have your ass in court. You gonna have to face the goddamn judge and the music about what the hell you was doing to people, whether it was true, whether he was lying. We really wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? But again, these people now they holding P. Diddy responsible. They making sure that he sit down for what he did, and then it could be haters. You know what I'm saying? You built up all this motherfucking money, and people still after 20, 30 years have never seen that kind of money, have never made that kind of money, probably never will make that kind of money, and that's just normal for you. Like you did that. You know what I'm saying? Like getting paid like that didn't really you did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck, man? I'm sorry. I hope y'all. I mean, P. Diddy, the one who coined the phrase, which probably was before him, but he coined the phrase, we got the same 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wake up and got the same 24 hours. Insinuating, what are you doing within that time? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because if you mad at me for what I end up doing or the contracts I could claim, what are you doing within your 24 hours? Because we all got the same 24 hours. And that's the first time I heard that. Maybe he didn't coin that. You know what I'm saying? But I just thought about that in the hip hop world. Like you right. Somebody like that nigga who got contracts like that, deals, all these motherfucking liquor company fucking deals and money increase in clothing line deals. He the one who invented all that shit. I guess you could say Russell Simmons kicked it off, but then P. Diddy took it to another level. He took it to a level so far that Jay-Z didn't reach for nothing on his own, in his own mind. He reached to become the other P. Diddy, a twin of P. Diddy, or the same level of P. Diddy, or even probably surpassing P. Diddy. But he never had his own dream. And P. Diddy wanted to be a higher level of Russell Simmons. So that means when we come up with a mobile-minded person, we got to have a different mindset because we can't just always do the same thing they do. Get a clothing line, get some liquor, get some shoes, and then get a white girl or whatever the fuck, and then all of a sudden everything crash and burn. Now you finna get a felony. You know what I'm saying? So when people gonna reinvent the idea of what succeeding and success on the white people contracts and white people deals, when they gonna figure something new out? You know what I'm saying? We already know what it is when they give you money, or we already know what it is when you get a contract. We already know what it is when you build up your name and everybody loving what you did. But why do everybody just want to be another version of P. Diddy? And I remember back in the 40s or the 60s or the 70s and shit like that, if a black man had got locked down and done in this type of way by the white supremacy or white America or whatever you want to call it, it would have been a coalition of black dudes that would have got together and been like, you know what, we on CNN or we on some show station and we or YouTube and we're gonna say, yo, we standing with our brother. We don't know if he did it, we don't know what he did, but we're gonna make sure that he's standing with him. We're gonna make sure his family's straight until he found guilty in his case or let go, and we ain't gonna just throw him under the bus. They would have did that. You know what's his name, Muhammad Ali. Them niggas would have did that. All them football players and shit from back in the old school days. The basketball players and shit that was from back in that day. The Wilt Chamberlains of the world. They would have came together. They probably would even got the Malcolm X's or the Jesse Jacksons of their time, and would have been like, yo, we gotta talk. We ain't finna just let this guy go down and go up under the teeth of white supremacy because of what they claiming on TV. And at the end of the day, they the ones who made him rich. So how you gave him the money, now you're gonna give him the crime. So it's like kind of we can understand what's going on, but he was there to sign up. He was there for every element of it. He wasn't against none of the shit that he was getting. He was partying it up, riding on boats, throwing parties, and so he gave himself up to exactly how he liked to kick it. So now today they get to throw some bricks at him and say, well, we already know what you into. We already see what you like to do, and now you're gonna have to take the fucking crimes of your behavior. And at the end of the day, it's only P. Diddy's fault because he could have been dating a black woman. You know what I'm saying? He could have been married. He could have been living in a relationship for fucking decades. The nigga was 55 years old when they arrested him. Like, how long you gonna be a rap mogul and shit? But that was such a dope ass experience. He was like, I don't want to do shit else. The fuck would I change this for? Y'all sound crazy. I'm doing this, and it's understandable. I mean, it ain't like 75 rap moguls walking around. It's probably like 4. You know what I'm saying? So it's a really unique lifestyle. So what you gonna be a mogul at 71 and shit, popping up like everybody, let me hit y'all on this new song and shit. It's gonna seem a little different. You know what I'm saying? When your biggest fan is 16 and you 71, You know what I'm saying? But they didn't have an exit because it's music. You the CEO. So how do you end it? White people put a crown on you. That'll sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? So now he gone, and he probably gonna lose this case because at the end of the day, why wouldn't he? These people fucking multi-billionaire, rich as hell. They don't give a damn about you losing a case. So I really do believe he's gonna end up not winning this and gonna go down for a little time because I don't think him and guys like Bill Cosby understand the time frame that they give you when they give you celebrity. It's a time frame, and if you watch other celebrities, even the white ones, they be gone by the time a certain age bracket kick in. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see them lasting decades like that. You know what I'm saying? You might see some directors, but you'll rarely see the white actors that be lasting 10, 15 decades. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? I think P. Diddy and them just like the candy so much. They just like the juice. It was fucking amazing. Like, why the hell would I set this down? It's understandable. So if you won't set it down, they're going to set you down. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson was one of the biggest musicians in the world, bigger than you could imagine when I was a kid. But hip hop was coming in. And so they came from the fucking, what was that shit back in the 60s? The Four Tops and all them in Detroit, Motown. Then they came into the singing dudes like Michael Jackson, who was transcending shit, carrying shit to the next generation. But then hip hop came over. And then it was like, okay, that's enough of that. But he couldn't stop. He was like, I'm the best. What the fuck y'all talking about? He kept going, he kept going. And they was like, okay, this nigga won't stop. He gonna stop this fucking hip hop money from coming in. Shut his ass down. And they did. And he ain't ever been able to make no songs that mattered ever again. He started just trying to talk about the industry and what they do to you. And like any other artist that gets completely rich and completely at the top. Now they no fucking expert on the music industry. You know what I'm saying? But that's what P. Diddy and them should have probably transitioned to. You got the podcast world out here. These niggas still trying to do big time arena concerts and shit with the new age Boys to Men or whoever the fuck they are. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he know he was doing nothing wrong because at the end of the day, he did all of this stuff in his crib, in his house, with bitches. It ain't like he was really, out in the world doing it, but they claim he was forcing them to do sexual acts. But you grown as hell, and you up in his crib against your will, and keep coming back. Like these are things that should. That's why it shouldn't be a trial because these are things that probably should have happened one time, and then you was like, I learned my lesson. I never go back. But these motherfuckers, they going back like they doing research and shit. Like, this. I think I saw semen on his penis tip. Let me go back and make sure that's what I saw. Like, what the fuck did you just say? But these motherfuckers thinking now that they were, I did see that. Now they want to take a nigga to trial over that shit. Like, what the fuck just happened? You didn't have to come to this motherfucker house. You didn't have to come over there. You didn't need shit from him. He held my career hostage if I didn't do certain things. Like, these motherfuckers are mental cases. And I know Pete Diddy got to be in a mental case position as well because how the fuck do you even know these kind of people? How come everybody around you ain't your family? How come everybody around you ain't Uncle Tony, your cousin, your nephew, people who literally love you? Y'all niggas get $5 and you want to hire everybody who just in the world. And here they come running down with guns on your ass like, yeah, son of a bitch, you shouldn't have trusted me. And you sitting back like, what the fuck just happened? But you could have hired your cousin, your next door neighbor. You could have hired the people who you grew up with in high school. You could have hired motherfuckers who you actually fucking knew. But you get the money and you think you better than the next person. So then you dangle that money. You want to ride down the streets you from in a Rolls Royce or in all this fancy shit and then go back around people who hate your fucking guts and smile around them like, yeah, man, I just went over there and shitted on my neighborhood where I'm from, or everybody from the family reunion. They should have saw my nice shit I had. But meanwhile, them people plotting on your ass. And then when you get smashed and crushed, who gonna come to court with you? Guess who's showing up for P. Diddy right now? Ain't nobody singing. Ain't no rappers. Ain't no fucking music execs. Ain't no producers, engineers, mixers, none of that. Guess who there? His kids and his mama. And that's every fucking day. That's every day. But who else is not there? Every fucking body else he knew. Everybody he knew. Nobody else he knew is even showing up. I'm talking about showing up like, yo, nigga, I got you. They ain't doing that. Because their careers could fucking end. And then they'll be sitting out here to myself, damn, man, you think this happened because I was with P. Diddy or whatever? Everybody trying to succeed and have their little angle work out for them. So now Diddy got a motherfucking uphill battle to accomplish, and I don't think he gonna win. I don't think he gonna make it through it. But I do want y'all to let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Is Diddy gonna win this case? Is he gonna get ultimately convicted, or is he gonna probably win this and come out on top? Or is he gonna get acquitted? And why should Cassidy even be his number one person to testify against him when he gave her $30 million, and she was just living with her mother before she got the check, and she asked him for a job after she got she left him alone and stopped dealing with him. Sis says his lawyer. These are questions that would be like, you asked me for a job, and I guess I said no, and now you want to get me caught up talking about some sexual acts we had together? Man, y'all got to let me know, man. It's a lot on this conversation, and I want to see y'all answer, man. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.